Hello, hello, hello. Good morning and welcome. You are on the mountain with Rick, and it is time for some Splinterlands. But first, coffee. Okay, actually, we are Splinterlandsing first. Whatevs. Maybe we can actually fucking make contact once in this goddamn battle, because we damn sure didn't in the fucking last one. Literally missed every single fucking attack. That was some bullshit. Alright, now coffee. Oh, that's not fucking coffee. That's fucking barely brown fucking water. No, that's just another fucking loss. Woohoo! How y'all doing out there in Twitch land today? What's good, Bagman on the YouTubes? I guess we need music. There we go. I really want Archimus. But I guess that's probably the best we can do. Send it. I can't afford to have two monsters not attacking. Wow with the fucking accuracy again. Didn't miss the Coral Lurker once. Fastest monster on the fucking board. Didn't miss him once. Love it. Oh, nice. Can't even fucking hit with the goddamn retaliate. Did you watch the town hall today? Let's get that back up. Alright, back to basics. Holy protection, 50 mana. Alright, we might be okay here. Don't think we need that maxed out, but... Alright, let's see if we can get up to D2. There's a bushwhack coming in from the Twitch side, so now I know the restream is working. Thank you very much. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing today?
Hello, everybody. This is Aggro.
Summoners are taking sides. Holy protection, 27 mana.
It's February 27th in the year of 2023, and it is an absolute pleasure to be here with you guys today. We're going to be talking about this little game called Splinterlands. I don't know if you've heard of it. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's a game. We built it, and we keep adding on to this thing. So there's a fair amount of stuff that's happening today, and a fairly big release tomorrow, which I think people are going to be excited about. And that's all sort of as we try to culminate in the like first major push to get a whole bunch of stuff out by the end of the first quarter. So we'll talk to a bunch of devs and talk to our chief technology officer, PJ, and Matt's here with us. So we're going to have a pretty big day here as we just try to talk through a variety of the things that are going on and give you guys the best update that we can. It's a pretty jam-packed town hall today. So let's go do like a team stand-up. We'll give everybody, a quick way to just kind of introduce themselves and talk about what's going on. From top left down to bottom right. So Matt, PJ, Harry, Chatter, Nate, Weirdbeard, and Lily. If you guys could just all sort of give us a one-sentence thing of what you're here to talk about today, that would be great. Matt?
Oh, I thought I was just here to look pretty, but
Well, you do that anyways. You do that so well, Matt. You're so lovely.
Thank you. I guess we'll talk about land progress, and some of the other new features and changes that are there have been released or coming out soon.
Yeah, people keep asking me when land. So if we have more and more definitive answers, I would like to be able to give them.
Yep.
PJ, what's up with you, sir? Oh, you're muted somewhere.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
There we go.
Yeah, it's always busy around here, but
Love
yeah,
it.
I think today we're going to talk a little bit about what happens behind the scenes here at Splinterlands. Also talk
Love
about
the miss.
some of the
Thank
things
you.
that have kind of changed in the way that we function and what how we just consistently keep delivering. So it'll be pretty exciting. Looking forward to sharing it with you guys.
Fantastic. Investigator?
I'm here to read off the release notes for what should
Another
be
fucking
tonight.
loss. Woo!
Excellent. Chatter?
Going to be talking about some marketing partnerships, a little bit of organic brand awareness, and then some things to come with both GLX and SPS node license holders.
Nice. Nate?
Yeah, a little bit of land, a little bit of whatever Matt wants to talk about, or you.
Nice. Weirdbeard?
More tournaments, more tournaments.
Seems reasonable. And Lily?
I'm here to share a support tutorial about viewing your rewards just in time for end of season.
Perfect. Why don't we go and start with Lily? We're going to go.
All right, Broken Arrows, equal
quick
opportunity,
support
24
tutorial.
mana.
It seems like a lot of people are asking, where are my rewards? And maybe you can help us find them.
Yeah, absolutely. So sometimes users will experience a delay in block processing, which makes it hard to view your rewards right off the bat. But there is a way to play them in game. We wrote this article, and if you review the video, you'll see that if you go into your end of season rewards box, all you have to do is click details and then show last season rewards. And that'll allow you to replay your rewards. And you can do the same thing with your daily focus rewards. And this is really helpful, like not only if you've missed the claim, but like if you've had kind of a bad day and you just need to cheer up a little bit.
It's funny
can
that she
replay
said
your
go
rewards
look at your
anytime.
rewards to cheer yourself up.
You
Like,
can
that's going to fucking
also
work.
view your rewards on Peak Monsters, Splex, and Splinter Share. And we'll be dropping the link for this article in the chat as well. If
I'll
you
go
guys
look at
come
my
across
rewards
new
and just get
players
pissed
who
off.
are having trouble viewing their rewards, it would be great to share this article with them so that they can, get a little, some tips and pointers about viewing those rewards. Yeah, so if anyone has any tips or suggestions for our articles, feel free to submit them to tech support anytime. Likewise, if you do believe there is a problem with your rewards and you've already tried to view your rewards in the way the article suggests, just drop us a ticket to tech support and we will look into it for you. We're always happy to hear from players, so hopefully this will be helpful for some of you guys.
Rock on. Anything else you want to share, or just any other kind of common things that you think we'll need to talk about soon for support and kind of common questions that come through?
So just in general with support, if you guys encounter an issue, the more detail we have about it, the better. Like, I don't need to know what you had for breakfast that day, but like, if you can tell me what browser you're using, what device you're using, like how long issues have gone on, any steps that you've taken to troubleshoot the issue, like all of that is really helpful for us. Yeah, and final remarks, just wishing everyone the best of luck
Okay.
with your end of
Desert
season
Dragon
rewards.
taking out the Jared
Awesome.
Scar
Thanks
there.
for-
That was
thanks for,
fucking
coming on
huge.
and talking to us all about where you can find your rewards. That's super helpful.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yep. All right. I think
We
we got
might
some
actually
release
have a
notes that
chance.
we should go through, and Investigator can kind of walk us through. How many? Is this a big release tomorrow? Is this a small release? Like, what? How does this kind of fit the scaling?
It's a pretty big release. We've got a few larger items that have had posts already made about them, but I'll talk about them a little bit anyways, in case anyone doesn't follow the announcements and stuff on Discord.
Yeah, hit us. Maybe just start with like some of the biggest ones, and then we can get into the weeds a little bit. But what are the big changes that are going live during tomorrow's release, or expected to go live during tomorrow's release?
So one of the bigger changes is
I don't
season
recall
rentals.
having to verify with Cash App to
So
sell my
you'll be
Bitcoin
able
there.
to rent out a
Up to
card
11,
for the
healed out,
duration of
even
the season,
Stevens,
basically,
25
without
mana.
the option for it to be canceled, which is something that I think a lot of players will be happy about. There's some minor details with it, I guess I'll talk about. So if it's close to the end of the season, if you have less than 7 days less, it'll default to renting it for the rest of the season plus the next season. Basically, season rentals need to be longer than a week.
What if I want them shorter than a week? What should I do?
You still have the option to rent cards on a daily basis. We're not forcing everybody to switch over to doing season rentals, but it'll be an option for a new way for people to list their cards.
Okay. So we have season rentals. What's the next big change?
A lot of ranked rewards.
Yeah, okay.
League changes.
I mean, I could do it for you for a fee. If you want to send it to me, I'll sell it, send you back the cash.
Drop down as far as they have
still not done.
We are removing the reduction in league if you don't play. So if you need to go on vacation for a month, you won't suddenly come back and find yourself back in Novice League again. If you don't play any games during a season, it won't drop you down.
All right, we are faster and have more damage.
Of Novice League, so that
and he does not have any reflect.
We're going to set up some novice bots for people to play against. And basically, it's going to be 10 wins to get out of Novice, and you will never drop back down into Novice once you're out of it.
I get you. Just wishing things would work 100%.
Caps for the different leagues. So, Novice and Bronze, it'll range from 12 to 40 mana. Silver 12 to 50, and Gold Plus 12 to 60. Plus, you have a chance of getting unlimited or 99 mana. And the
Alright, Lost Magic, Silent Summoners, Fire and Regret
is going to be the same, where before it was a weird scale. For tech modernization, the big thing is we're finally going to move over the Mana Well or Open Pack screen to the new client, as well as all the animations when you open the packs and get the cards.
Do you have a sense of what % done we are with tech modernization? Just ballpark. Are we 10%, 50%, 75? How much more do we have to go?
Maybe 30, 35, somewhere in that range. There's definitely a lot left to convert over, but we're making progress.
All right. Any other? You're smiling. Are there still a bunch of things?
Yeah, it's a bigger update. So as we've announced a couple times previously, we're going to retire the bridge over to Steam Engine. So if you still have anything on there, please transfer it off. And then there's a couple of smaller updates. We are fixing the display of the battle button, so you can't actually battle for 15 minutes after the season ends while it's processing end of season. Before, the button wouldn't actually disable on the UI, and it would just throw an error back at you that you couldn't battle yet. So we finally fixed that, so it actually disables it on the UI. We're adding a couple new API endpoints for markets that are a little more optimized.
Oh wow, he played a lot of range for Fire and Regret.
Status or completed.
We might have a chance. Wow, with the 100% accuracy. Guess dodge means nothing.
Basically, there used to be a proxy service where we would broadcast things out to the Hive blockchain for them. But at this point, if they're free-to-play non-Hive accounts, everything should be handled through APIs, and we're not going to broadcast anything on-chain for them anymore, since they aren't supposed to be able to really hold DEC or SPS.
Wow, with the fucking misses.
And there's a couple other.
I mean, yes, I see the fucking speed differences here, but this is ridiculous.
Where it was saying splinters instead of elements, but
And
That's
it would
the
be
main
so
points,
very
plus,
fucking nice to get a poison.
the shield
Thank
came
you.
out a little bit earlier in the week.
Yeah, the airdrop seemed to go pretty smooth. There wasn't any kind of like major turmoil in that I could tell. Seemed like everything just dropped away.
All right, finally, Diamond
Actually,
2.
So not only that one, but for gems, so we're at 977,418 packs. So in a little over 22,000 packs, the next Rift Watchers airdrop should trigger. So we're not far from that. We're at 95%. So I know that, you know, at the last little bit here, it's been trickling in, especially while SPS prices are still low. But for the people that want to get that airdrop, that's going to be the next one. And
All right, Counterspell,
not-
Fire and
we're
Regret,
not long
Noxious
for this
Fumes,
world
14
for
mana.
the Rift Watchers edition.
Yeah, and there's no more Chaos Legion airdrops. So if you want to get in on airdrops for Rift Watchers, still some time left to buy packs there.
Yeah.
I need.
Well, that sounds like a lot.
to
You know, hopefully
rent
you guys will be
Kiara.
not too busy fixing last minute bugs, and these things are hopefully going to go smooth. But you know, for those who are about to fight.
Oh
in
my
the
god, stop
arena
fucking
of,
clearing out the goddamn bar when I type in a
update,
fucking
I
card
wish you guys
name.
luck tomorrow, and hopefully
The
that's
fuck
as
is your
smooth of a process
goddamn
as we can
problem,
get.
Peak Monsters? Every
Thank you.
fucking time.
And looking forward to playing with all the new changes.
Yeah, awesome. All right, thanks, Investigator. Let's go bring on our CTO, a man by the name of PJ, and maybe PJ can go kind of give us an update on, you know, just what's the state of the union of the technology department? Are we cooking faster than we ever were before? Are we going slow? Do we have a lot of problems? Have we ironed out the problems? Like, you know, just give us a high level update from your perch, right? You got a pretty unique position in the org to be able to see how all the product teams are working and how all the dev teams are working. Is this stuff coming together? Are the wheels coming off? What do you see out there, PJ?
Oh man, you know, it's been like I always say this too. When I started working here at Splinterlands, it was a long time since I ever loved waking up in the morning, going directly in, and going to work. Right? It's been great. As far as the actual engineering and all of the things that happen behind the scenes, the team has been performing fantastically. I know that we've been faced with a lot of tough times just in the crypto market with, you know, all of the things that have happened in recent history. But this team here has been
Got a mess
you know,
everywhere. I
phenomenal
got
as far as getting things out
barely even
consistently
brown
and
water.
trying to make sure that we had probably most importantly product uptime and security at the forefront. But you know, I just want to say real quick too, Aggie, I don't get a whole lot of time to come on here and thank Harry for all the hard work that he does. But Harry's probably the hardest working man in Splinterlands show business. He's, you know, he does a lot behind the scenes and helps us coordinate, and is also probably one of the most integral people, especially who I lean on. So Harry, I just want to say that I really appreciate all the help, man. You're a phenomenal engineer.
Nope, we lose.
Rock on. Yeah. I got.
Oh, wait,
everybody
what?
Sings his praises. He's been doing great.
How the?
I'm right there
I
with
thought we would lose to the
Yeah, so it's
llama
been great.
fleshy
I mean, so a lot of things have changed. and
because
we
we're
know that
dealing 12
you had
damage
asked
every other
questions about
turn,
where
and he's
things
healing
are
for 12 damage
and,
every other
how
turn.
things are going with like tech modernization, right? But it
Wow.
is a constant state of improvement, and it is one of those things that
I don't
we're
actually
always
understand
looking
how
for
we won
ways
that
to
one.
try to get
Not that I'm
feedback from the
complaining,
community. Obviously,
but
we have some really great
I am
community leaders.
confused.
We also have some independent chat channels where a lot of communication can happen kind of more directly with the team. And we hope to see a lot of this stuff improve. It's really important for the processes that we've tried to bring forth as, you know, as an organization, I'd say. And, you know, a lot of the things that have kind of changed over the past years, we've go through these cycles where we can kind of observe, orient, decide, and act. That's actually kind of the terms of it. It's what they call in the military a OODA loop, right? And so in order for us to do that, we want to take as much feedback as we can, as quickly as we can, and try to incorporate it back into how the game works. And how
Must
the
be
game plays.
fatigue,
Obviously, while all this is
but
happening,
I
we have
don't.
a lot of different initiatives across the organization.
I don't even
but
see how
I think we've been doing
fatigue
a
gets it
phenomenal
for us.
job, and I think that's why Harry gets to come on here every week and talk about updates in length. But it is quite a list of things that we put out.
Oh, because we're actually healing for 4 per
all right,
turn.
so
Okay.
yeah, there's tons that are constantly going out. I guess you know, how do you feel like we've been doing a bunch of work to go reduce server costs? Do you want to give any kind of like high level sense of how that's going?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as you guys will see, there's changes that have to happen on a couple different fronts in order for us to really, I would say, stick true to being a decentralized organization, but also make sure that we
All right,
have the
Rise of
type
the
of
Commons,
information
Melee,
and data
Mayhem,
that
Fog
we
of
need
War.
in order to make wise decisions. So this means that one of our most expensive costs is information going out of our architecture, and then another one is really just the overall cost of maintaining data so that we can perform analysis. So what we've done is we've really taken a deep dive into how we structure our infrastructure, how to make it much more, um, without giving away too much, basically have just multiple redundancies across multiple availability zones, and to have a system that allows us to fall back on with relative ease, right? So anytime that we need to do a backup and restore, or anytime that we need to have any kind of data to fall back on, like let's say if we're doing deployments one day and we need to go test some data in a table against what we have in production to make sure that we have a lot of consistency in our data, right? Before it actually goes live on chain. So the team here has been doing a great job, although I would say because we like to move fast, the expectations is move fast and break things, but I don't like to break things. So we try as hard as we can to try to keep everything, well tested, goes through a rigorous process that our engineering team has been working really, really hard to kind of perfect over the last 6 months. But I would say things have been going pretty well.
So one of the things that I know a bunch of folks are waiting for is like a better mobile experience, and I know that that's still waiting on a bunch of like tech modernization pieces before we could even get to like having one single code
Yeah,
base.
that's a loss. Big time.
Do you have any sense of like how far along that might be? Like,
Oh, hey, I've never
when
played
do you think
D-Tough
we could
stuff
try to
before.
tackle like
I
a
think.
better mobile app or a single website that handles both?
Yeah, absolutely. So VNext, or what we would call basically our tech modernization
All
platform,
fucking gold. That's
is really
nice.
the first drawdown on this. So what we're gonna do is try to provide exactly what you had said, which is a mobile first interface, right? I would say if you look at the overall amount of work that we've done so far in tech modernization, yeah, it's about 35%, but the last 80% of that, or sorry, the last 20% of
Where
that,
the fuck is my Zaya?
because it is going to require us to overhaul a lot of the user interface across all three different platforms. Usually you have something like a mobile interface, then you'll have like an iPad display, and then you'll have desktop display, and now they have ultra wide desktop displays. So it's actually pretty challenging. But I would say we've considered most of this stuff early on. When we say we're 35% of the way through, we are about 35% of the way through, considering all different platforms that we want to have this display on. As far as actually keeping it up to date, I know we've had a lot of challenges because we have two separate environments right now. But I think that'll start to disappear. And what you'll start to find out is we'll have a single platform that is much more well structured from I would say what we search for is what we call CI/CD, which is continuous integration, continuous deployment, right? So that's kind of our standard that we're hoping to have across all platforms.
Do you think that's a 2023 thing, or do you think that's a 2024 thing?
That's a good question. I mean, depending on the rate that we're headed right now, it is a 2023 thing. It also depends. There's a lot of other things you have to consider, right? So we build a backlog of development every time we add new functionality, and I know you're very familiar with this, right? But we try to solve most of that in the new engineering. So we try to have most of our new engineering follow a pattern where we don't have to write a lot of code twice. Although it does happen, and you will find that when you have multiple platforms, it's just something you can't avoid. But we put all this into consideration. I know that there's other platforms that the team has been working on, which are actually much cleaner. I would say much more stripped down versions of what we normally build on, so that we can test and develop things. So excited to see some of this stuff come to light. I know that we've got some products that are kind of headed in that direction. So again, it's exciting to see this all happening behind the scenes.
So what do you think your highest priority is, like right now? Out of all the things that are here and on your plate, what's your highest priority?
Oh, it's always security, right? So security is always going to be the highest priority, and I think you guys have seen that over the past couple months, right? we always get threats. We always have people who are trying to infringe on our services, which is just something you're going to constantly have. I mean, we have so many active users and so many active wallets that security is the one thing that's always looming over there. And we have a lot of different methods for us to try to deal with that. The next is really just making sure that we're not inflating costs or blowing up costs, because you could have services that just run out of hand. So we're constantly watching how much our costs are and making sure that we don't have ridiculous bills that run up because some service or redundant call gets runs loose in our architecture.
Alright,
After
Silent
that,
Summoners,
it's
Weak
about
Magic,
consistency
Odd Ones
and
out,
being
29
consistent, having
mana,
a
no
consistent plan,
water.
right? So if we're always talking about having a decentralized network, and the last thing I want to do is have to bring down systems and services, right? So we try to schedule our time and our windows as tight as we possibly can, around like 2 or 3 hours every Tuesday, to make sure that we just have consistency across all systems when we go down to do updates. So anything beyond that, I typically look at as kind of a fault on our end. But for the most part, we've been doing pretty well. And I'd say our response times have gotten really, really good, as well as the overall amount of stuff that we deal with coming in from traffic or attacks or any other vectors where, we have markets that are doing stuff behind the scenes.
Okay,
We've
Desert
been really, really good
Dragon.
about protecting
I
them.
like
So
Osher.
beyond that, morale is always another big one, right? Making sure everybody's always happy, so we're not burning people out. Making them work weekends. It's always one of those things where we're
No
always
Gorlagon.
trying to make sure that we can put out the amount,
Do I have
the
another
maximum amount of
reach
stuff
at
without burning
5? I
people
do
out.
not.
So just making sure that people are good.
Rock on. All right. Any last words for the crowd here? Anything else you want to leave us with? Or,
What's
or
good,
others
Ape?
thinking
Welcome,
about
welcome.
For whatever's coming in the future out of our tech department.
Put you on the backside, because that'll work.
See, we got a question
I got
about the
7 left.
new mobile app. If it's a focus purely on a mobile website, yeah, I think
Horny Toad
we're going to try to
there.
do most of our stuff as web first. As mobile first, but developed on web.
And then just any high level thoughts, kind of thinking towards the future that you want to leave people with.
No, I'm excited to see this stuff happen. I think we're going to continue to see this space develop. We've got a lot of engineering that's going into building more tools, and also really taking a look at the data that comes in from some of the services that we have. I think is going to be really, really critical to building and developing a better game, a more well-rounded set of rule sets. So excited to see that stuff happen. I know you guys have some updates about that stuff coming up. So really, really appreciate it. Again, I just wanted to give a shout out to the dev team and the engineering team. You guys do a phenomenal job. I know we ask. we keep you guys busy.
I love the first round poisons.
Much appreciated. And, again, really, really excited to be working here.
Rock on. All right, PJ, thank you so much. And thanks for keeping our tech team kind of in line and moving along.
Really with the miss on the trample.
Let's go bring on Words with Wizards. Let's talk with Matt.
I think we got it anyways.
This is the guy that I think our audience most looks forward to hearing from. And I don't know, Matt, what brings you on this week? What do you want to be talking about?
There we go.
We got a lot of stuff we could talk about. So there's land, there's a bunch of other updates, there's some new updates, there's some plans that we're starting to think about for Rebellion. Where do you want to start?
I think let's go with like the brand new alpha. If I wanted to go kind of shock this audience, let's shock them awake.
I thought you had actually made a new account, Ape. I didn't know you had just changed your name.
You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so this is what we're kind of getting started thinking about Rebellion a little early. And one of the things I mentioned, in our call earlier where we were talking about this stuff, is that since the game launched, every new set that we put out, pretty much we've had some new abilities that kind of change things, but that's really it.
Whoa, that
Rebellion,
changed.
To be the first set where
I dig it.
Add some new mechanics.
I don't particularly care for that combination of rule set necessarily, but I like the new logo.
So one of the things that we're considering, and please keep in mind, we're just considering, nothing's set in stone yet.
Oh, I really wish that I had a.
So you'd be able to choose a summoner that's both life and death, and be able
Axe
to
Master
cards
here.
from both elements, and there's 10 different combinations of the 5 basic elements. So we've been play testing that.
Oh yeah, I guess I should have known
to try
because
to
Town
see
Hall
how
shout
that
out,
works,
because you just made it like last
deal
night, so
with,
there was
the
no
fact that
way
there's
that he
more
would have been
cards
able to.
choose from, what the balance would be, like how powerful allowing 2 elements would be as compared to regular summoners, what they should cost, and all that stuff.
Would really wish that my
Yeah, so that's a big one.
angelic
I
Mandarin
saw
had
a
fucking
working
triage here as
demo of
well.
it,
That would be super
today,
nice.
actually. So that's the first time that I've seen that go live. I don't know how soon we'll get something like that out, but that's certainly on the roadmap now. Maybe it sounds like the people are excited for this.
Why don't I
It's
play
like,
Max Modern?
it's
Because
not-
I
it's not
don't
like,
have
"Hey, that's broken,
anything
we hate
for
it."
Modern
It sounds
Max.
like, that sounds really cool is what I'm mostly getting. So maybe the audience can go try to express their
Except for
emotions about
Oceanus
this
and
in
Bilkia.
memes and emojis, because that would help us.
Yeah, and
I'm
gotta,
not renting.
most of the pushback I heard about it was, there's too
I
many
have
cards to pick from.
Holosaur's
I mean, we
cards.
have, 2.5
Literally,
minutes
the
or
only
whatever,
cards I have rented out
there's
right
too
now
many
are 2 mana
cards
summoners,
with
and
summoners of
I
2
rent them
colors,
for
but
specific matches
really,
every once in a while.
the like every card in the game, the whole idea is about knowing when to use them and when not to. So,
Okay,
the idea is
well,
that
that
these
accuracy
summoners will be,
definitely
a bit
fucked us
weaker
up.
than,
And
like,
of course, we
single
just keep
element
fucking missing.
counterparts, right? But then when you get those rule sets where it's no
Yep, that's over.
neutrals, magic only,
Gotta love
and
RNG.
you only have like 5
Totally
cards
fucking
to pick
fair.
from, then it's like very, very worthwhile to have a summoner that allows you to pick, from 2 elements, and then you get 10 cards to choose from.
Yeah, I'm not
You don't have
renting,
that
Ape. I've
where you'd
got
be able to choose from 5. So that advantage there. it
no,
makes it
I
easier
can't.
to
I
make
couldn't
up
afford to
for the
keep
fact that
going
you may
on
be
it.
a little weaker
I ran out of
ability
DEC,
for
and
stacks.
I mean now
So,
I've got like a
I-
couple of
my
thousand.
feeling
I don't
is
even
that
have
those
enough for a
summoners would
pack,
typically be
and I was spending like
chosen
40,000
when
a
there
season.
was a small amount of cards to pick from, and it doesn't really make as much sense.
I
to
basically
choose those
have
summoners
all of
when
Holosaur's
there's
wild
a
cards.
more open rule set scenario.
Back to
So
basics,
that's
Little
why,
League,
again,
taking
it's
sides,
not
48
100%,
mana.
but we're testing these things out. So rather than just say, oh, some people are worried about this, we won't do it. It's let's actually try it out and see what happens, and see if there are any issues, can we address them?
Because I mean,
still
a
put out
big part of that
rather
is
than
not
throw
knowing
it
how to
out
rent
altogether.
very well. I
Okay,
can
so
admit
that's hype
but
overload, for that. Thank you, Marketable. So is there anything else you want to add about multicolored
For 2
summoners, or
days?
should we move on?
well,
No,
I said for a
You
season.
know, I'll leave it to Nate on his thing if he wants to provide some eye candy. Although I'll preface it that these were just like quick things thrown out to do some internal testing, not like final graphics. But if he wants to share some of that, he can do that.
Yeah, Nate, you should plan on that, sir. I think the people want to see it.
No
right.
problem.
So let's. I wanna save land for last. What other topics do you want to hit before we get to land?
Hell no.
Do you want to talk about reward changes or like the, I guess,
Yeah, we
maybe
talked
rank
about this.
changes?
Yeah, the stuff that is going out tomorrow. I mean, we put out a big post about it, so this will be rehash and nothing new here. But there's going to be a big focus.
Ain't nobody got
starting,
time for that shit.
On kind of the new player experience, and some of the changes tomorrow are geared around that. So, obviously the experience of coming in and your first battle in Novice League going against bots that are perfectly tuned to play.
No, I don't have
against,
that much time to
cards
play
at
in
that
one day
level.
to burn my ECR down
And
that
you just
far,
lose every game.
and then taking
is
4
not
days
what we're
off.
doing.
Like,
So we're basically,
no, I would go
we're
crazy.
making it so that
4
everyone, once
days
you
with no
moved out of Novice
Splinterlands?
League, you will never fall back into it.
I
So you'll
can't
never
even
fall
imagine
below
that, man.
Rating. And Novice League will basically be extended to be part of the tutorial, basically, where after you complete the initial actual tutorial, you just play a Novice League. We're going to set up some like bots that we're just running that don't earn rewards or gain any rating or anything like that. It's kind of part of the tutorial. So you get to play, a bunch of games that you'll likely win.
All right, we might have a
get
shot
feel
here.
for the game. And then, as you transition then into Bronze League, we are starting to add some messaging that's like, hey, hold on a sec, you're in the real world now.
Yeah,
probably
I
not
take
gonna be
like 2
successful.
days off
You're
at the
probably not gonna
beginning
get
of the
any
season,
rewards unless you go get cards. And the idea is,
which is why I'm trying to burn
the
my
hardest
ECR
thing
down
for
to
us
like
message to people
20,
is,
10, something
as
percent
people who aren't
now.
that familiar with the,
But I'm
crypto
also
NFT
tired as
gaming
hell, so I don't think I'm
industry,
going to make it down that far. But
is not just
I want to
that you
get down
need
to at
cards,
least
you
like
can rent them and you
40,
can buy them, but
50%
also like why
tonight.
it's good to do that.
Try
you
and
know,
maybe
like
push up
why it
into
makes
Diamond
sense to
1 or at
spend,
least get like
you know,
5,
real
6
money
diamond
on this
chests
stuff, and the whole
for
idea about
the daily.
rewards, and that you're not just going to get a whole ton of rewards, you know, on day one or in your first week or month
All right,
or whatever.
Armored Up, Noxious
That if
Fumes,
you
Fire and
actually put in
Regret,
the
12
time and you
mana.
put in the upfront, you
Can
know,
I just
money,
play a 0
then
mana
you can
summoner?
actually grow your account to the point where you get
Damn
into
it,
the
stop
higher
giving me
games,
these
the rewards
shitty
can start to
ass
really add up. So
fucking
it's that
mana caps.
messaging,
It's why I play in
that
Diamond.
we
I don't
really
want to
wanna
play
start
12
getting
fucking mana.
across, and then we just want to make it also easier for players to do that.
Fuck.
So
Who
that's
can
where
I
the
play that's
season
actually
rentals
good?
change. Yeah, that's going to be, I think, beneficial for all of our existing players too. But for new players, it's going to allow us, you know, to give them just like one
Oh, we can
click
try
set
that.
rentals for an entire season. So instead of telling them, hey, you need to rent cards, and they have to go like, you know, okay, they can rent a whole set of cards, but then, you know, every day random different ones are getting canceled, and they have to keep track of that and go, you know, get them back, and it's just like a whole process. We want to just make it, new players come in, they go through the tutorial, they get to bronze, and it's like, okay, you need cards.
You're definitely going to stream tomorrow
buy
as Luthien the
$10 worth of
Turd.
credits
I
and
would
click
expect
here,
nothing less
and
of
then
you.
you get a full set of
Nothing at all.
bronze level cards, and then you can go and, you know, actually win matches and earn
Oh,
rewards.
yeah,
and
fuck. He
hopefully see
he
the
brought
value of
Oster.
that.
We're
So
done.
this is,
I don't
you know,
even have to watch that.
the goal that we have in mind, and tomorrow's release is just gonna be
250
like a first
plus
little step
champ
towards
chests.
that.
Jesus
Yeah, and hopefully we
fucking
can combine that with the
shitballs,
third-party
bro.
tools too, so that if you
Yeah.
want to go,
That's insane. And
rent
that's what,
cards
3,
or
4
get a
accounts?
deck delegated to
That's
you
still
by
a shit ton per
the
account.
arcade, that would be
I mean,
good,
I
or
got
if you
40
have, like, a
diamond, and I
team
feel pretty
composition
decent about
or, like,
that.
whole deck planned out. That
Oh,
the
7.
Peak Monsters,
Still, that's
you know,
more
team
than
has
30 per
suggested
account.
to you,
Oh
that
my
would be
god,
good.
bro.
I don't know if Flex has something too, but you know, all of those would be, you know, here's a variety of ways that you can click a button and get an entire team delegated or rented or purchased.
I bet.
And you can just like run off and start
I
having success
bet.
right
But I
away.
bet you're fucking rolling with them
That is
rewards,
the
too.
goal. And, you know, obviously we also want to add a lot more messaging and like help for newer players. But I think that the one-click set rentals is going to be the big win.
Yeah, how much would you say you're
All right,
spending
so
per
we have,
season?
We had
It doesn't
some
kill you,
reward
lost
changes,
legendaries, Tisba scratches,
and so,
29
like, kind of
mana,
leagues
water,
on
earth,
how far
dragon.
back you go or how far back you don't go. That Harry talked about. We have, you know, the multicolored summoner.
Fair enough.
You know, we have the season rentals. What is there anything else we want to talk about before we dive into land?
Yeah, I mean, there's another change that we're working on that the announcement post
Shit,
hasn't
lost
put out
legendaries.
yet.
I can't run
That
the
should be
dragon.
soon, but I can talk about
Okay,
it. It's nothing that needs to be kept secret. But one of the things, and these suggestions actually came from players over the years. We're working on a replacement for our ECR system, the energy capture rate system.
Honestly, I'm
And
not sure
we're
how I
planning to
feel
replace
about
it
this
with an
part.
energy
Like,
system that's
I
just
don't
more
mind the
similar to
ECR
the
system. I
typical
feel like
game
it adds a
type,
depth of complexity
where,
to play.
you'll have a fixed amount of energy, and every battle you play will take exactly 1 energy, and then it'll just be like you can't play anymore when you run out of energy, and you'll have options to buy more by like burning DEC or with credits or different things. And that just so part of my overall focus when designing things is I've come to realize that simpler is better. And when we try to do these like systems that are very complicated, which energy capture rate is one of those, collection power is one of those, they end up having all these little like exploits. Basically, they're these complicated systems. People find all these different ways to work around them and exploit them.
Welcome.
And you have to make all these like weird little one-off rules and changes to try to close up the exploits, and it becomes a big mess. So I want to start like taking.
How in the
things that
fuck are
kind of
you
a
down
mess
to
in the game,
2 max
replacing
health?
them with much simpler systems that just they're simple, so they have really no room for exploits. And this energy system it will just be 100 times simpler, in my opinion. And not
That's
just, you know, for
fucking
existing players, for
bullshit.
new players, it'll be just like very clear how many battles they can play. The energy will no longer impact your rewards. So if you can play a battle, you can play it, and you'll get the full rewards that you would have earned. So you don't have to worry about like, oh, my ECR is at 70%, so I'm only getting 70% of rewards. And then should I wait like an hour before every battle to maximize rewards, which you know bots can do much better than humans. So it'll take away the whole idea.
That's
of,
what I did.
You know, bots being able to play a million battles and run through all their energy.
I don't need to look. I know who you are. I've seen you all over Splinterlands TV begging for cards.
All the details of it in the post. I'm not
it wouldn't have mattered. I was down to
but
2
it's
fucking
just
hit
gonna be
points
a much
before I got a
simpler
turn.
and easier to understand and much more familiar system that will also at the same time, take out a few of the exploits or the advantages that still remain for bots. So I'm pretty excited for that, and really anything that simplifies things.
Broken Arrows,
Crypto
Taking
is
Sides,
asking, should we
Little
get a way
League,
to
46
conserve energy
mana.
if we take time off, so that people can take time off and
I
not
have
waste their
eyes,
ECR
Rishab.
opportunity cost. Of course, have some expense to capture that ECR while
No
your GDP is back
dragon,
over
no
100%.
fire.
This to me sounds like there really ought to be like, here's your base level energy bank, but
Says
if
it
you
right
buy
there
this
on your
much
screen,
EDC,
Rishab.
you could get a bigger and
On the
bigger
mountain.
bank or something like that.
Yeah, so we're not planning to do it where you get a bigger bank. And there's all sorts of reasons. Like, we have to go through and just make sure again that it can't be exploited in any way. So, one of the things is that, like, buying more.
You're on my
energy,
channel.
The DEC cost,
you're on.
right, to get more
It's the
energy
same as on
has
YouTube.
to be different in different leagues. Like, it has to cost way more in Champion League than in Bronze.
Twitch
League,
and
because
YouTube,
if
both
you
Rick on the mountain.
get an extra battle in Champion League.
What do I want to fucking do for the summoner though?
So if we let people basically like buy it, store up a whole lot of energy.
I guess Oster, cause
you could do that in an earlier
Broken
league
Arrows
and have it available at a higher league. So it's sort of similar to ECR in the sense that, like, you'll have like your max amount will be more than you can typically use in a day. So you can play a whole, if you're planning to go away for a day or two, you can like play extra before that and use up all your energy and let it regenerate while you're gone. But any way that we set it up where you can, like,
I don't love it, but I'll try it.
Longer amounts of energy for longer time periods.
I got a Carnage Titan and a Liza or Isa.
Exploits or things. Being able to move cards around.
There is no Liza. It's an Isa and a Lyra. I did not get a Lyra.
Looking forward. When do you think that will come out, or when do you think we'll see a post or something? Is that like
soon? It's within the next like couple weeks. The post will be out and it should be ready to be released.
Cool. So maybe by the end of this quarter, but we'll see what that looks like.
By the end of the quarter.
Okay. Any other things that we want to talk about before we answer when land, what land, how land, all that?
No. I mean, land has been the majority of my focus.
So yeah, I mean, all the players keep asking when land. So I guess
when land.
Are we on track to hit surveying within Q1?
Yeah. We've answered the question of when land at this point. Q1. So in a month from now, we are expecting surveying to be out. Land phase 1. You will be able to survey your land deeds. You will be able to see.
That's
exactly
not when land though, Matt. That's when
magical resources,
when one step
parcels,
closer to land.
Occupied, all that stuff, rarity. So that is still on track and expected to be out by the end of March. The creative
all
team
right.
is
I will take that surrender.
Most of the designs done. It looks really cool. You'll be able to like see the view of a particular region with the map and all the different plots in each tract, and they have little icons for all
oh
the
shit! I haven't done
things
my
that can
my
be
faucet
associated with the
dives.
plots. I don't know. Again, if Nate wants to share some of that, he can feel free.
Start getting sites loaded
and then,
up in between
we
battles.
talked about a land phase 1.5. That
all right, 50 mana, aim true, up close and personal, odd ones out, no fire. Damn it, I can't grum here.
4 months, so pretty soon, and that'll allow
all right,
very
Daria
first
life.
being able to put your cards on your land, stay
Desert
on
Dragon.
the land, start harvesting some resources, and getting
Sandworm.
sort of a head start for when the full phase 2 is released.
Now
Hydro
we had that
Lurker.
whole land potions
Silver Shield
failed.
Assassin.
We put it back up on the proposal system, and then a
Carnage
starter kit for
Titan.
land passed. Is that going to be live
Maybe
in
not so
March
much
as
on
well?
the Hydra.
Because the surveying and the land starter kit seem tied together. Is that still coming out?
That's right. That's going to be part of the surveying that is to go live in March. So when you survey, you will have the option to purchase, those 3 starter packages. You'll be able to purchase one of each per plot that you're surveying, and you won't be able to purchase them again after you've surveyed. So once you survey a plot, you can't purchase those packages again.
All right, it
So,
has been asked
again,
a lot
it's
that
a
I
bit
have
of a-
seen,
it's a
so I
pre-
wanted to point that out. Just draw y'all's attention one more time. It is one of each per plot. Means 30k DEC per plot to fully max out your bonuses on survey. And that can only be done when you are surveying, not after, not before.
sale type thing. But again, it's just burning DEC and DECB. So all the pre-sale funds go toward the ecosystem, go toward the value of SPS. It's not the company pre-selling anything.
So if I have so deck B can be spent against the land starter kits.
Yep. So and at the same
Oh,
rate
yes!
as deck. So
Huge retaliate.
pretty silly not to just burn deck for deck B and get a discount on that.
So when does deck B? When do we stop selling that? Isn't that tomorrow?
No, it's 2 months. It was initially said tomorrow, but that was a mistake. So the proposal was for 60 days. I'm checking on the site right now to see when it is. April 9th is the last day. So
okay, so we still have a little bit of time.
yeah, so you can wait until you see
All
exactly.
right,
how
Fire
much
and
you
Regret,
want
Little
in
League,
surveying,
20 mana.
to use, but obviously that's
No
not
death,
that's going
no
to just be
earth.
the first use case for deck B. It's going to be usable within guilds, and there's some big guild updates we have planned too, which I forgot about, but we can talk about if you want.
We'll talk about those next.
Okay.
You and I have put out like a little bit of information for what land 1.5 might look like, and I know that you're working hard on a post. Any kind of like preview stuff that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really trying to get a white paper out. It's going to be more than a post. I want to put it on like Gitbook, like the SPS white paper, with the sections and everything. So otherwise, it'd be quite a post. I'm hoping to like kind of get the first draft done as soon as possible this week. I don't know how much back and forth or changes or edits they're going to be, but then we'll try to get it out as soon as we can. But the idea is you will be able to start putting your cards on land. We've talked about a whole bunch of times. There's going to be mostly limited spots to put your cards on land. So having 2,000 level 1 or 1 BCX common cards is not going to be very valuable, versus having 5 max level common cards on your land, because you have limited number of spots. So I talked about on previous the last town hall I was on that I have been personally buying up a lot of max level cards, because I have a region of land, so we're gonna need a ton of cards on that. There's going to be bonuses and advantages for older edition cards and gold foil cards. There's going to be some pretty big bonuses for Rooney. We want this to be like one of those real big benefits for Rooney. There's a pretty limited amount of Rooney when you think 150,000 land plots, 3,500.
I was hoping he was going to last a little longer, because now I think we're kind of fucked.
Very few land plots, just a couple percent or so land plots will be able to have a Rooney on them.
Now we're fucked.
We want to really give big incentives. So you'll be able to put your cards on the land. We plan for them to be able to do a few of the things that will be available later on. So like one of them will be like mining SPS. So right now,
I cannot hit a fucking win streak to save my life.
Do anything. Our goal.
I just want to get into D1 so I can reset down to D3 and not have to fight through gold.
Once land phase 1.5 is released, you don't just get SPS just for holding land. You actually have to put your cards on land. You have to stake DEC on the land so your cards can physically manifest. Not spend DEC, just stake it. And then one of the things that your cards can do in this first phase will be to mine SPS, and it'll be similar to like staking. It's just there's a certain pool of SPS available.
Up to 11, up close and personal, even Stevens, 12 mana, fucking 12 mana again. God damn.
You have and the cards you have on the land you have, and you'll get that percent of the pool. So again, this is all pending approval from the SPS. The SPS governance vote, but my hope is that it would be approved because I think it's pretty cool. and it'll get people to lock up a lot of DEC that need to be staked, and also combine cards and lock up cards. I mean, one of the biggest benefits, in my opinion, to land is how much it incentivizes combining cards, because a limited amount of card slots, right? So again, you're not, a one BCX card is going to be not very valuable on your land versus a max level card. So it's going to be, it's going to be the biggest incentive I think we've ever had to combine cards. And my goal overall is that the release of land, even phase 1.5, like this just very first phase, will be sort of similar to when we did the SPS airdrop and launch, a year and a half ago or so. In that it just it greatly incentivizes everyone to get as many cards as they can and as much DEC as they can, and hopefully it will drive similar results as we saw with the SPS release. So a couple other things. I mean, I think we're going to allow people to get started early on the research.
All right. Well, that was an interesting win, but I'll take it.
About previously. So you can have some land plots where you're mining SPS, and you can have some where or all or
anti-magic.
where you start getting a head
I
start.
have been not at all doing my quest here. Void, phase, void armor.
And I want to start offering. We talked about there's going to be prefix titles, so not just Yabat Mat the Praetorian, which is a title at the end. You could be like Lord Yabat Mat, and we're planning on having like kings and princes and princesses. Everyone will have a male and a female version that you can choose. So I want that to go live in phase 1.5, and that'll be the type of thing where the lower titles are for things like if you own a keep or a castle, or you have a certain amount of Rooney working on your land, and then the higher
Melee
ones
Mayhem, Lost Legendaries,
so
44 mana, Earth, Death,
contributed the most research toward the secret of Praetoria.
Opponent's probably running
Daria. Can earn the prince, princess, king, queen, and even an emperor title, and those will come with benefits and boosts throughout the game.
As am I.
You can start getting, we talked about with totems, you'll start being able to use your totems. So if you have a totem, you can boost your SPS mining or your research production capability. We talked about that you'll be able to kind of randomly find totem fragments, new parts of new totems on your land. So you'll be able to start doing that in phase 1.5. Although it'll be kind of slow at first, and once phase 2 is released and you build out more, you'll be able to find more of them. There's a few other things. The prefix, the postfix titles like the Praetorian, the Untamed, all that stuff will start to provide bonuses. We've all long said that they'll provide bonuses to land, so they'll start doing that. And I think that's a pretty high level overview of what phase 1.5 is going to look like.
Yeah, I mean that's a whole lot. I guess two of the common questions: if I have an overcombined card, will that benefit me, or am I going to be capped at the max BCX of the card?
Yeah, I went back and forth on that, and I think it's better to keep it capped at the max, because the overcombine thing is not a feature really. It's not intended. So if we allowed overcombine cards to get benefits, then people are going to purposely try to overcombine cards. It also we have, there's a limited number of card slots per plot, and we have the system and the economy is going to be designed that there's a maximum amount that you can get. So I don't want people to be able to figure out ways to crazy overcombine cards and blow out our economy, and I don't want to incentivize something that's not intended. So I think we should do something to deal with cards that actually.
Oh, I should have brought the barking spider for the blind.
I think it's giving them extra benefits on land, though.
Okay. The anything you want to share about, or anything else that you want to talk about for land or land 1.5?
I'll just remind everybody again that max level cards are going to be the thing that you want. Obviously the older cards and gold cards.
Yeah, we're getting fucked again.
But those are so limited that for the most part, you'll put those maybe on if you get a legendary plot, or you have a magical resource or an occupied plot, that those would go great there. But on all your other regular plots, you can get max level cards for less than $5 on the market. I think that's a steal, and I've been buying them up significantly.
Ay, ay, ay.
And
There's not-
DEC too. Sorry.
Do you have any idea how many max level cards there are in the game? Like if we combine
could be.
everything.
Yeah, I did some math on that. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it's not a ton. It's like I think it's less than like 2 million. And so if you think about 150,000 land plots, you know,
All right,
times
Earthquake,
5
Ferocity,
cards per
Aim
plot,
True,
that's,
32 mana.
750,000. So that's
Water,
probably
Earth,
a good
Death,
like half
Dragon.
of all the possible max level cards. We'll never even get close to all the possible max level cards realistically. So it's like, you know, there's way less than that now that exists, because they haven't all been combined. A lot of people mostly use their combined cards for battling, and I think that will still continue to happen. So there's not going to be enough, like you always say, push and shove. There's not enough for everyone. So I think even if everyone tried to combine as much as they could, or was available at reasonable prices, it just wouldn't be possible to get enough to have max level cards on all your plots. And I would like to have max level cards on all my plots as much as possible. So that's why I've been trying to buy on the market, the cheap ones that are being listed. And the same token I've been
All right,
buying
let's see if
DC,
Kai can actually keep us alive
significantly,
here.
because you're also, and that's going to need to be staked similar to the cards. And I look at it sort of again like the SPS airdrop, right? You know, people just, you held DEC.
No, because they're gonna have
got
100% motherfucking accuracy against my goddamn fucking Phantom of the Abyss. Fact that you're fucking slower, yeah, that doesn't matter. The fact that I'm fucking got dodge, that doesn't fucking matter.
A lot of places where DEC is going to need to be spent.
Fucking bullshit!
Or has the option to be spent. So, you know,
100% fucking accuracy, my ass.
Get just as much DEC in general, just to have and stake. And then, if it's staked, and even if you don't plan to stake that much, our goal is that with all this demand for DEC,
I'm fucking tired of it.
Like I said, the next 4 months is our goal for phase 1.5 here. Even if I end up buying more DEC than I end up using, I could just resell it on the market for 25.
Yes.
30% gain right now.
like a
Fucking tired of this bullshit.
So it seems like a no-brainer to me.
So in terms of DEC, if I'm trying to plan for this, are you thinking about that on a per plot basis, on a per monster basis?
Lost
per
Magic
summoner
Stampede
basis?
up to
How do
11,
you
17
see
mana.
that working? Is it like $1 a monster? Is it $10 a monster? Is it $5 per plot? Like any insight into what that might look like? So people that have land can plan how much DEC they need for their initial staking.
The thinking, numbers I've been playing with is, so it'd be per worker card that's staked on a plot. So the idea is that, cards when in the battles are not like physical. They're I don't know, Nate would do a better job at describing this, but so you need the DEC basically to make the cards, the dark energy allows the cards to physically manifest on the land and harvest resources and do all the stuff that they do there. So it'll be per card, and you'll need more DEC based on the level of your card. So a max.
No, RNG's got this. It's fucking.
Level 1 card.
I'm just so fucking sick and tired of this bullshit ass RNG.
Is that gold cards or older edition cards or any of that stuff will not need any more DEC staked than any other cards. So that's sort of like a benefit also of having a gold foil card or an alpha card or an alpha gold foil card, is that you don't need extra DEC staked for that as compared to max level Chaos Legion card. So my thinking is something like for a max level, a single max level card would require about 10,000 DEC, to have it work at maximum capacity. So that would be, it could be up to 50,000 per plot. But remember, this is not spent; it's just staked. So you're not spending any value here. You're just kind of like locking up and holding on to the tokens. And people who might do the math might say, well, that's like almost as much total DEC that's in circulation right now. And my answer is yes.
Can't get a fucking win loss, but I can, or win streak, but I can damn sure get a fucking lose streak.
Will need to be spent or can be spent and the DEC that will need to be staked, it will be more than exists right now. That is the whole point. And the idea is that people will need to create more DEC, and the way you do that is by burning SPS. So again, the whole idea, we kind of, in my opinion, made a mistake with the SPS airdrop, and the whole DEC mechanic there was that all this value went into DEC that really we should have gone into SPS and didn't.
Yeah, especially when your opponent
so
has
we're doing that
100%
again this
fucking
time.
accuracy
So
against you
all,
every goddamn
like
game,
buying
no matter
more
how fast your
DEC,
monsters
all this
are.
money going into
Fuck
DEC,
if they're
so
blind, fuck if you're
rerouting
flying,
the
fuck if you
mechanism
got dodge, doesn't
into
fucking
SPS.
matter. 100% accuracy.
Again, the whole idea is that like pretty much no one is going to have enough DEC, and the whole idea, and we want everyone to buy it or try to get it in any way they can. So all that value goes into the SPS token, which just benefits.
Fuck, do I have
everybody
that slow and
to
flying?
guess.
What about summoners versus monsters working on the land? Do I need summoners and monsters? Do I get a bonus for summoners? Are summoners required, or are they optional?
My current thinking is that summoners will just be the same as monsters and not be required. I know a lot of people talked about you need a summoner, like one summoner per plot to manage the monsters and all this stuff, but one of my thinking is that like there's already a significant the summoners are already significantly more valuable and
No, you're too fucking fast.
Used in the game than the other cards, and it would just create it would just again severely limit like what people can actually do on the land by having this requirement for a summoner or having to have a max level summoner to have max level cards. Like I want to get away from limiting. Like, I want as many people to level up cards and combine cards as possible. So I don't want to limit anyone's ability to do that. And so requiring max level summoners to use max level cards would be a limiting factor there, because there just aren't enough. We talked about how many max level cards total there could be, and like summoners, I don't have the numbers again, but there's just like way less, like not even close to enough. So I didn't think it would be beneficial to doing that. We could potentially give them, they could have a bonus. There's lots of different areas they could have a bonus in, but I don't want them to limit other cards being used.
So two other classes of cards. We got gladiators and soulbound cards. How do you
Don't know
see
why I
those
brought
fitting
Lobstradamus
into
when the
land,
rule set
either
is
1.5
fucking
or 2.0?
I don't think there's a reason not to let them work on land, but it's just that
Oh wait, yeah,
they're
because they're a
so
fucking
hard to come
moron.
by and generally so useful and valuable in the battles that it would seem silly to me to use those on land rather than like a less than $5 max level Chaos Legion reward card or something. So my
That's for
thinking right.
gladiators, right?
Well, even for the current soulbound reward cards, I mean, it's like no one's anywhere close to getting a max level one. It's going to take a while. So if I don't see any reason why we shouldn't let them work on land. There's also not that many of them in the sense that there's a lot of them that exist, but again, they're all split up between lots of different accounts. And since you only have limited amount of spots to put them on land, you want max level cards, not a lot of lower level cards. So
Of course, get the stun, so no heals.
Any like extra supply really, or a meaningful amount of extra supply by letting them work on land. So I don't see any reason why not to let them work on land. But I personally would never use any of my gladiator cards or my new soulbound reward cards on land because I want them in battles and I want other max level cards that I don't use to be on land.
And then what about renting land or renting monsters for land? If I'm not like a card lord, but I own a region or heaven forbid, a couple regions or even just tracts of land and I don't have the cards to work on them, is the rental market still going to work? How does that work if you need stuff, if you need DEC staked on something? How do you do that with the rental market? Can we have...
All right, Taking Sides, Briar Patch, Broken Arrows, 18 mana, Dragon, and Death.
Cards and put rented cards on land.
I don't expect that like renting out your land will be available in this first 1.5 phase, although it's definitely something we plan to do in a later phase. But I do definitely want you to be able to rent cards and use them on your land. And like season rentals might come into play there, or we maybe make potentially like longer term rentals, because there'll be a cooldown time, like an unstaking time to take cards off your land. Like they got to travel back to wherever they do their battles or whatever it is. So it's not like you can just like throw cards on land and move it around instantly, because again, there's exploits that come up with that. So you'll need to rent cards for at least a few days to have them work on land. But I don't see any reason why you shouldn't be able to do that, and I'm looking forward to that. Adding a lot of value to the rental market, especially for higher level cards. Which is good, because if there's a bigger rental market for higher level cards, it'll encourage even people that don't have land to level up their cards and list them for rent, and then it'll just provide more value for people who want to buy cards just to rent them. So it's all around beneficial, in my opinion.
Okay. I didn't write it down, but you had mentioned one other thing that you kind of wanted to talk about. Although I should also ask if there's anything else you want to share about land.
No, I don't know. There's like so much stuff about land that I think covers it for today.
Okay. There was one other topic that you brought up real quick?
Guilds.
Yep.
We talked in the past about guild alliances, which is a really cool feature we've been thinking about. One of the things I've been struggling with is how like big a feature it is to build out guild alliances, and does it make sense to spend that much time and effort building an entire
5 in a row
when we can get like almost all of the benefits from it by potentially just.
All right, let's see if we can lose 3 more fucking games before spin to win actually happens. Let's fucking go.
Alliances is something we definitely want to do at some point.
Already back down to Diamond 3. Love it.
Group that works together. But I'm thinking like it would just be much more beneficial.
Holy Protection, Super Sneak, healed out, 34 fucking mana.
Where we add a bunch of new buildings to our existing guilds.
Let's just fucking play until we're back in fucking silver, huh?
We're asking for, so the idea is like we'll be adding a whole bunch of different buildings, replacing the quest lodge, which really hasn't worked for a long time. And again, it'll sort of be a similar concept to land. We're thinking where it's not just like, oh, you just spend DEC and level up your buildings. There'll be more to it. Like one building where you need to stake Rooney into it to get bonuses. There could be buildings where you need to stake unopened packs, and just all the different resources in the game and vouchers, and you can use for different guild buildings that will give your entire guild different bonuses. And I was also thinking about one of the issues we've heard and experienced personally in guilds is like people spend their DEC and their money to level up a guild building, but if they're not like a leader of the guild, they can just be kicked out, and that's all lost. So I was looking at ways similar to land, where instead maybe you could stake your DEC or DECB on the guild buildings, and then so if you ever leave the guild or get kicked out, you kind of take it with you, or you can maybe still spend the DEC so it gets burned, but you get some type of like contribution points that you take with you when you leave the guild, and you can apply to another guild. And I think that would really help encourage people to be more okay spending more in a guild without worrying about being kicked out and just like losing their benefits. And then also the guild, if they kick somebody out who's donated a lot or like staked a lot, they'll lose that. So their buildings could reduce in level if someone leaves and takes their stake DEC with them. So I think it'll make a much more equitable system, and it could also lead to a system like we've talked about, like guilds being more of a DAO, right, than a monarchy.
I'd love to see like a DAO or a guild treasury that looks like a DAO, and like people are all owners of the DAO collectively. I think that'd be awesome.
So these are the stuff I've been looking into, and as cool as like alliances would be, it'd be like a 10 times easier project just to like add some of this stuff to our existing guilds rather than build this entire new thing with new screens and new issues that need to be worked out. Again, going back to what I said earlier about like more complicated versus simpler things. So I'm kind of leaning toward that direction right now for our guild updates. But it also we plan to have some buildings that tie into land and vice versa. So you can build a guild building that can give you benefits on land. So
Jesus fucking Christ.
With high
0% accuracy much?
Vice versa, we can also have things that you can do on land.
Fuck you!
More merits or more crowns for your guild and things like that.
Fucking goddamn bullshit!
Is the same. We want to encourage people to level up cards and to buy and hold and stake more of all the assets in the game. And like Rooney, I want to just highlight again.
0% fucking
I still
accuracy.
have a vision for like
0% fucking
one day,
dodge rate.
being
Fuck
being
this
high up
RNG
there,
bullshit.
like floor price on OpenSea, up with some of the bigger projects. And this is the way we're going to do that, having these like huge benefits on land and in guilds for having multiple Rooney, even and in that case it doesn't necessarily matter what they look like, or do they have legendary components. It's just like any Rooney is good. And then when we add the Rooney combining feature, that's also a way, there's going to be a limited number of spots on land. Sorry, I'm just like jumping all over the place, but there's going to be 5. We're planning on 5, worker card slots on land. So Rooney will be the only way where you can combine multiple cards together. The sort of max level cards. You can like over combine them in a sense when we add Rooney combining, and get like a super, additional boost on a single plot by combining, Rooney together when that feature's out. So, I just want to highlight combined cards, high level cards, DEC, and Rooney are kind of like 3 of the major things that you're not going to have enough of with land and this guild update.
Other than that, stuff is easy. All right, we got land, we got rewards, we got a little bit of everything. Any other major topics you want to cover?
No, we can't do exploding rats.
I need to rest my voice and let someone else do some talking for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not paying attention, it's gonna blow your mind just how much stuff is coming. And it feels like a lot of this is coming in March, right? Is that your sense too? That maybe not all the land 1.5, but a lot of what we've been describing is like Q1.
Well,
We're already done.
Surveying definitely, or we expect it. The guild updates and land 1.5 will be in Q2, but that's not that far away. I mean, like 3 to 4 months is not long at all. So
some of the guild stuff can hopefully be done relatively quickly. Like adding another guild building in that display, hopefully is not too hard. And I'd love to see the same kind of mechanism of like card staking happen for guilds too.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned packs and vouchers, but I saw in my brain like if you want to earn merits faster, there could be a guild building for that. But you guys have to stake cards on it and stake other pieces. So I could see that happening.
Yeah, I think that's one of the plans too. I'd expect it to take about a month of development work. So and it's not being started on.
Holy shit, a fucking win!
Hopefully in the earlier part of Q2 for the guild updates.
Rock on. All right, Matt. Well, always good to have you on. I know that the crowd loves hearing you talk. And are you not entertained? There's a lot going on. Let's go bring on Chatter. Hopefully Chatter's still here. Let's go get like a little marketing update. I know that this one is not too extensive, but I hear there's some partnerships brewing.
There are indeed. Yeah, it's going to be a hard show to follow after all those different talks by everyone.
Super Sneak,
on the
Heavy
partnership
Hitters,
side of
Fire
things,
and
we
Regret,
have
42
Monster
mana,
coming in.
no
They
death, no
are
dragon.
a app, mobile app, similar to kind of what you would see on a Reddit or everything else that kind of brings in more social elements of like matchmaking and whatever else there to find people to play games with, to act as a social hub for all of your favorite games. But I think most importantly, what we've seen them do exclusively to what we've seen from other more social apps that have been trying to focus on Web3 side of things is they've had experience taking Web3 games that have had hundreds of users active at the time to tens of thousands of active users just by pure in-app marketing there. They're being actually amazing to work with so far. We're just kind of in the final stages there of getting all that stuff rolled out, but I'm hoping the next couple weeks here we should be live and on WASDER. WASDER is the name of the app if you want to go check it out and make an account beforehand. Otherwise, Exodus Wallet, we're looking at
the crowd loves hearing you talk. And
sorry, I had to rewind that one because
there's a lot
I
going
gotta check out the
let's
how do we get that
let's
name?
go bring on
Anwaster or
Chatter.
whatever it is.
Hopefully Chatter's still here. Let's go get like a little marketing update. I know that this one is not too extensive, but I hear there's some partnerships brewing.
There are indeed. Yeah, it's going to be a hard show to follow after all those different talks by everyone. Yeah, on the partnership side of things, we have WASDR coming in. They are a app, mobile app, similar to kind of what you would see on a Reddit or everything else that kind of brings in more social elements of like matchmaking and whatever else there to find people to play games with, to act as a social hub for all of your favorite games. But I think most importantly, what we've seen them do exclusively to what we've seen from other more social apps that have been trying to focus on Web3 side of things is they've had experience taking Web3 games that have had hundreds of users active at the time to tens of thousands of active users just by pure in-app marketing there. They're being actually amazing to work with so far. We're just kind of in the final stages there of getting all that stuff rolled out, but I'm hoping the next couple weeks here we should be live and on WASDR.
Wow, with the
WASDR
fucking
is
misses.
the name of the app if you want to go check it out and make an account beforehand. Otherwise, Exodus Wallet, we're looking at getting some really cool
About fucking
integrations
time.
going with them. I think we're going to have a lot of brand awareness across every single one of their users. Going to be a lot of kind of social marketing integrations, so on and so forth, going on there. Talking to them for quite a while.
Oh, fuck, I missed it
So
again.
how many users? Chatter. Hopefully, Chatter's still here. Let's go get like a little marketing update. I know that this one is not too extensive, but I hear there's some partnerships a brewing.
There are indeed. Yeah, it's going to be a hard show to follow after all those different talks by everyone. Yeah, on the partnership side of things, we have WASDR coming in. They are a app, mobile app, similar to kind of what you would see on a Reddit or everything else that kind of brings in more social elements of like matchmaking and whatever else there to find people to play games with, to act as a social hub for all of your favorite games. But I think most importantly, what we've seen them do exclusively to what we've seen from other
Give me the
more
button to
social
enter, then.
apps that have been trying to focus on Web3 side of things is they've had experience taking Web3 games that have had hundreds of users active at the time to tens of thousands of active users just by pure in-app marketing there. They're being actually amazing to work with so far. We're just kind of in the final stages there of getting all that stuff rolled out, but I'm hoping the next couple weeks here we should be live and on WASDR. WASDR is the name of the app if you want to go check it out and make an account beforehand. Otherwise, Exodus Wallet, we're looking at getting some really cool integrations going with them. I think we're going to have a lot of brand awareness across every single one of their users. Going to be a lot of kind of social marketing integrations, so on and so forth, going on there. Users, going to be a lot of, I think, otherwise, Exodus Wallet, we're looking at go and of getting all that stuff rolled out, but I'm hoping the next couple weeks here we should be live and on WASDR. WASDR is the name of the app if you want to go check it out and make an account beforehand. Otherwise, Exodus Wallet, we're looking at getting some really cool integrations going with them. I think we're going to have a lot of brand awareness across every single one of their users. Going to be a lot of kind of social marketing integrations. So
Okay,
on and so forth going on there.
WASDR.gg. WASDER.gg.
Talking to them for quite a while. Oh, hold on.
So how many users? How many users does WASDR have? And then Exodus Wallet, that's like a pretty major wallet. How many users do you think they have?
Yeah, so hopefully my mic's a little bit better there. I just shut off a few things. My internet's been a little bit up and down. WASDR right now is boasting, I think, just under 1.5 million downloads since they've been active, I think, since 2019, if I recall. So they've been doing super well, and they're planning to have another 1 million onboarded, hopefully by end of year this year. So they've been.
Well, this is
taking
not
off
a very
and
good
skyrocketing.
fucking
They're
look for the
successful
site that
both
we're
for
fucking partnering
Web
with.
2 as well as Web3 games.
First
So
impressions are
hopefully
everything,
there's
and this
gonna have
one's
a lot of
pretty fucking
crossover.
shitty.
Hopefully we can actually cannibalize some of the Web 2 crowd and bring them over to Web 3 as well. And then on Exodus Wallet side, I know they're in the millions as well, I'm pretty sure, but don't have an exact number on them. But I know on their following, people that we can actually actively reach out to is in the hundreds of thousands of actives.
Yeah, that's amazing. Those are two big audiences. And then, everybody's going to ask, hey, new player experience, are we going to be able to keep these guys? Like, what do you think is necessary to take some bro from the Exodus wallet and make them comfortable on the Splinterlands? Are we there? Is there still a lot of work to do, or how do you see that going?
Yeah, I think there's still.
All right,
I don't think
Waxiest
there's
Races
ever
is
gonna
still
be
fucking
a point
worthless.
where we're like 100% satisfied with onboarding experience. I think we can always run tests. We can always find better ways of integrating it. But I think right now we need to start looking at what that kind of new user onboarding and sign up experience really looks like. I know we've been talking about it internally. We're just kind of waiting.
Does anybody else
to
play
get that
Waxiest
roadmap.
Races, and
But
is
on
it
the marketing
working for
side, what
you?
we're
Because
doing
this
is
hasn't
we're
worked
starting
for
to run
me
whole
in
bunch
like
of
a
tests
week,
for different cohorts of users,
and it's
coming into
also
the
gone
game,
down previously.
depending on how they're actually coming into the game. And then from that, we want to start serving them different kind of forms of emails to get them started. If it's someone who comes into the app and is kind of purchasing cards and playing the game right away, they're not going to need as much hand holding as someone who is making a free account, playing with a soulbound cards only, and still trying to play a few games a day, but not necessarily taking those next steps.
3.9
So, okay, I want
Billy.
to start building my own deck or doing anything else there. How can we start building those automated triggers based on those behavioral aspects to really help handhold them and bring them into the game in full fledged? So there's a lot of things that we're going to do there that we can do kind of more manually, as well as kind of automated triggers on the marketing side of things. And then hopefully in time, what we can do as a company as well is actually start looking at a complete overhaul of what that onboarding experience looks like on more of an app kind of side of things, as well as kind of introducing things like, hey, we're going to get a news feed in the game, hopefully, and all these other things. But I don't want to necessarily speak or overcrowd the dev space there. I'm not the person who's doing the road mapping, but just kind of well wishes from the marketing team for sure.
Rock on. Anything else you want to add there?
Yeah, just, other things that we're working on right now. GDC is going to be coming up, San Francisco, March 20th to 24th. If you're going to be there, shoot me a DM. On the SEO and kind of more brand awareness side of things, we're working with Capital DAO, Cointelegraph, Nifty Arcade, and a few others to get kind of more website discoverability. Hopefully more links coming back to us. We're going to be doing a kickoff with coins.ph as well, which is a kind of advertising platform. Going to be doing a few
9.6.
So hopefully we'll see a bit.
Jesus fucking Christ, Taco's gone to shit too.
Lastly, just
I'm
with
fucking.
the GLG and
I'm about to
GLX
pull the plug
things,
on a
we
bunch
are
of
gonna be
this
having
fucking
our
shit.
GLX node license pre-sale coming up. It's going to be mid to late March. We haven't confirmed an exact date yet. I'm thinking it's probably going to be in the early 20s. If you had to ask me, so maybe like the 21st to 24th is what I put my gut on. But anywhere from the 15th to the 30th is fair game for that sale. People who are holding SPS node licenses are going to be available for a GLX node license airdrop. We don't know what that's going to look like yet. We don't know how many kind of nodes and how everything's going to work there, but I will hopefully be announcing a kind of bit more details about that in the GLS Discord at the end of this week. So if you are holding an SPS node and you haven't jumped into the GLS Genesis League Sports Discord, please do so. There's going to be some information that you're going to want to see coming your way in the next couple days here.
Wish I had a node.
All right,
but...
Chatter, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for giving us an update. Those sound like two really powerful partnerships, and hopefully that drives a lot of users our way. Let's see what that looks like. Do you see that happening by the end of March?
Yep, I would hope so. We're doing a whole bunch of other kind of initiatives too in the meantime, just running tournaments. Like we just did one with GameSpace that saw over 2,000 new signups. A lot of those players are staying in the game. They haven't seen a huge kind of like purchasing propensity from them yet, but the fact that they are sticking around playing the game, really, really good sign, things to come with kind of future partnerships, tournaments, so on and so forth there.
Rock on. Speaking of which, why don't we go get Weirdbeard on and we can go ask him how things are going in Brawl Land and Tournament Land. And thank you, Chatter, and let's keep up those kind of partnerships. They're huge for us. Weirdbeard, I am running late, so let's sometimes I like to babble along with you for a bit, but this time I don't think we have time. Can you kind of give me the skinny? What's going on in the world of tournaments and brawls and esports, and what do you seeing out there?
New tournaments coming starting on Thursday.
Right, the tournaments are live 635 right now, staked and 10 liquid.
The ping will go out in the Discord for people who are interested. Just like usual, you're going to be able to enter in. We will have our Gladiator tournaments still happening at 3 p.m. EST that you're going to be able to join. So look for that at 3 o'clock on Friday for a Gladiator tournament. And yeah, we just have some quality of life stuff being done in tournaments right now. Cryptomancer is under the hood for a
Black
couple of things
Lotus
that we're doing on the
votes.
back end. So nothing too explosive this week.
Claim the crap out.
Any other updates that you want to share that just anywhere in tournaments or Brawl Land?
Not really. Like we're again about to be able to have people start giving us some feedback on the composition of the phrase once Cryptomancer finishes up these current tournament asks. So as soon as we're ready for that, we'll also put out pings for everybody to be able to come and help us give some feedback.
Rock on. Okay, well, that was pretty speedy. Thank you, Weirdbeard. And I don't know, we got a little bit of time left here for Nate, and
Why is
getting
that
kind of
0?
a creative update and brief. So,
That's
Nate,
not
I
very
don't know
much
if you can
THC
tell
at
us.
all, anyways.
Just show us.
Claim it all.
Show us what's going on. Show us what maybe Matt talked about some land surveys. Matt talked about a dual element summoner. What do you want to start off by showcasing, or just yeah, let's get
What do y'all
straight to
feel
eye
about the
candy,
dual
'cause I
element
gotta
summoners?
answer some questions.
All right, no problem. I'm trying to remember everything that was discussed. There was a lot. Let's see. Let's start off with he mentioned an energy bar. If you guys want to see what that'll look like for the beginning, it's just going to be this little thing, and everything is subject to change.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be a while
like
yet.
Usual. Everything that I show, whether it's text, wording, placement,
it's
imagery,
probably going to
all
be
subject to
part
change.
of Rebellion.
Anything could change up until
So,
the time it goes live
6
on the
months?
website. So keep that in
Or
mind. Don't nitpick over some
4
of this
months?
stuff. Let me see what we got here.
4 to 7.
Here's a kind of like a concept for what the energy bar might be looking like. So as Matt was discussing the energy bar, just keep that in mind. We have some cool ideas for the energy bar stuff, like when you need more and there's another screen, and we have the art team working on some background art, which I'll share when we have it. But essentially all the arenas, right, throughout the land are outfitted with these chambers with some runes.
That's alpha right there. 3 out of 50
that.
on the energy.
A battle
it does
maker,
not show
it's not
how
quite the same
long
as
it will
physical
take to
stamina, but
regenerate the
channeling
energy.
mana through your body and sending it into these
But-
cards to summon these manifestations. There is a magical toll that takes place, and rather than go home and go to bed, the idea is that you get power.
I did not notice that
these
when they
chambers
were
at the
going through.
arena. If you're just like hardcore, you're just like, no, I want to keep fighting. Said, okay, go ahead. So that's the idea there, and we're gonna create some artwork to support that.
Some of my like woo woo that I like to follow. There's like a fair amount of theory that the pyramids were involved in sort of channeling energy into humans and the pharaohs, and maybe that impacted lifespan or anything like that. So that's definitely in the woo category of things, but getting like a little bit of that channeled energy from up above, almost like a little bit of cloud breaks, you see that one light coming down, and that's your mana from heaven kind of filling you up.
No, I dig it, and I think we should apply it to the real world. So hopefully, no time soon, but one day when Aggie passes away, we're gonna mummify him, sarcophagus. Yeah. We're gonna build this huge construct over you on Splinter Island, and you will be memorialized for all eternity.
This is perfect. This is the new dream.
I love it. What else did we talk about? I think Matt mentioned some of the work we're doing for surveys. So again, when I show you this stuff, just don't nitpick over it, because the filters that are activated don't quite represent what's on the region view, and there's all kinds of stuff. This is more for purposes of like getting a bird's eye view of like, oh, it's going to look something like this. But yeah, there's an example of what's being worked on. That's viewing a region with the geography colors turned on, and then you might switch the view to where you see the land type colors instead, which would be like magic or occupied or kingdom land or natural land, and the colors would shift and change. Or maybe you don't want to see the colors and you want to see the artwork behind it, and then you could see through it. And there's all kinds of cool ideas we're tinkering with. Maybe some of them make it to launch, maybe others won't. It depends what kind of heart attack the
All right,
engineering team
now
has
we've
once we
got
finally
some of
hand
that
over the
going.
specs,
We're
tomorrow
already
or the next day.
4%.
We'll see how that goes.
Nice. Now we're
What else was back?
4.5%. Fuck yeah.
Multi-element, multi-element. What do you call it? Summoners.
Summoners.
We're gonna keep stacking that shit
yeah,
up.
you
Let's
can
get up
see
to like
the
20%. That would be dope as
placeholders.
fuck.
Tyler, our lead creative
need what?
coordinator, put together really quick.
Well,
so
like
engineering would have
20k
something to show.
shing,
He threw
25k
together
shing.
some placeholder images, but it'd be fun to look at those. So those are the
Oh no,
placeholder
that's
images
what we've
that
earned.
the team is internally
We need
utilizing in our test server environment.
200,000
play
shing.
with the mechanics and balancing of that, and this is something that Bob, Tommy Tim, is the big developer and architect behind this.
We can make
genius
that work
development.
eventually.
So, mad props.
Not
off to that
tomorrow
guy.
or anything, obviously,
he's
but
doing some really fun, creative, cool back end and front end work to kind of make this all possible. But he shared
where are
this
we at on
screenshot
loot?
here.
We got 17,000 or
it shows,
16,500 loot.
testing that was
Okay.
going on, and you'll notice that these special summoners, the guy at the top has both earth and fire.
That's
creatures,
pretty
and the guy at
solid
the bottom
too.
Has earth and life.
Definitely
creatures,
want to
and
get that up
we're
to like
testing out
5% or
the
so.
mechanics and the balancing and see if any of this stuff works. Let's see what else we got here. We also have.
No.
You know what's fun is
that's all
just
of it that we need
before
for that.
the town hall started, my Madi, the lead, our art lead for the company, shared some.
I'm not sure
concepts
when
for
his
some of
daily
these things
is.
that you guys are
Okay,
getting
still
ready to
hasn't
buy.
happened for
For
today
those
yet.
of you who are stocking up on dark energy crystals or batteries.
That is
the proposal that
27th. It's only
we're gonna be
1:42
introducing
a.m. on the
these
28th. So
survey
yeah,
booths.
I'm
And I
not
call 'em
surprised
survey
it's not
booths
today
because
yet.
essentially you buy them when you're surveying the land, and you can buy these boosts, right? So we're trying to figure out what are these things going to look like. Building in a box is pretty straightforward. So it kind of looks like this, and none of these are final renders. We're trying to figure out to add the final sizzle, the final polish to some of this
we're probably
artwork. But
at
I figured I'd
fucking
give you guys
500.
during the
Yes, we are.
concepts
God
of
damn it.
building in a box. But you know what? This might be fun. I asked the creative coordinators, I say, hey, do you mind coming into Discord and YouTube and any other channels from which we're streaming and just tally up all the results of how people feel about what they would prefer. So I'm going to make this a community endeavor, something that you guys can all get involved in. Even though building a box, pretty straightforward. We do have a couple other boosts. One of them is the time vault and the unstable token. So I'm going to show you guys in one big image all the different versions of how the time vault might look, and it's probably going to be like an hourglass, a magical hourglass. So I want you guys to give an idea of like, hey, which one do you guys think would look the coolest? And chances are, whatever you guys vote for here or, you know, on Discord or YouTube or otherwise, we're going to tally that up, and then you guys will influence the direction of this artwork. So let's start with that. There is an image there with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different versions of what a magical hourglass would look like to represent the time boost. So go ahead and, you know, as you guys feel free. Oh, emotes, that works too. The other one is, let's see, the unstable totem. So give me you guys' opinions on this one. So this one's even more options. What is that, nine different options or whatever? So you guys can come back and give your opinion, and you don't have to do it right this second, but have a chance to review it, take a look, see which one.
Oh, fuck you with Magic Reflect and Void.
And then I told Madi I would give them the results from the community sometime today, so that tomorrow they'll add the final polish to the version that we end up going with.
Yeah. So hopefully, if you guys aren't clear on this, you need to go vote. So vote on the houses. You know, they put this in at 525. So you have A1 and A2. So there's number 1 and number 2. Go vote with those. Underneath that, we have the time crystals, and these are B1, B2, B3, and so on. So go put an emoji under those, and then at 526 he put the unstable totems, and go vote for them there. So it seemed, what's that? And they're pinned. So go. You can just check the pins if you can't find them, but you guys should be voting away with what you think looks best there. All right. I mean, that's a ton. Those things look awesome. Really excited. Um, each one of those is going to cost 10,000 DEC. And so if I want my plot fully ready, that means that I'm going to have to spend 30,000 DEC. And if there's 150,000 plots, and I multiply that by 30,000 DEC, that's 4.5 billion DEC, which, as far as I
Shit is
know,
going
there's
way
not
too fucking slowly right
4.5
now.
billion in circulation that players can use. So there's something like 6.3 billion. Splinterlands, last time I checked, has something like 2 billion, which means that there's something like 4.3 billion. But if everybody gets all the starter boosts, then we literally run out of DEC, and that's separate from what people are going to want to leave in pools.
No,
So
it's,
you guys currently, if you're listening, you currently get a discount of something like 24 or 25% if you get your DEC now. If you wait until this goes live, then you're gonna have a 33% increase in what it would actually cost you to go grab these. So just keep that in mind. Also, yeah, you have 2 billion Deck B, although I'm not sure all that has been claimed. But can we use Deck B for these for the summoner boosts?
I don't know if they can hear me, but yeah, of course.
Yeah, they can. Matt's saying yes. So if you want to grab these, you can get a discount too, right now by getting DEC and then converting that into Deck B. So if you guys have plans to go, upgrade your buildings and use these starter kit things, you're definitely going to want to go snag your Deck B, because I as soon as these things go live, I have a hard time believing that there's still going to be a 24 or 25% discount on the DEC, but we'll see what that looks like. Nate, anything else you want to share today or show today?
let me see. I think I knocked it out. There is one last thing, I guess. I showed you guys the placeholder cards for the multi-element summoners, and if we actually move forward and we actually end up doing these things, it probably end up being in Rebellion. So the way the Rebellion frame would look with that little extra thing would probably look more like that. Like there's the top of the frame, and you'd see something like the two little icons in the corner. I figured I'd share something like that, but yeah, that's what I got.
Sweet.
All right, phase and
okay.
so...
I think we got some Splinterlands TV. Nate, thank you so much for kind of sharing us the goods. There's a lot to be excited about here, and then let's dive into a little bit of the social element and talk Splinterlands TV. Mr. Ron.
I've got to stop following Nate. It's just going to be. We need to switch it around, I think.
Yeah, you don't like all this eye candy, and then we talk Splinterlands TV.
Yeah, I think that it'd be more impactful if I was before Nate. Yes.
All right, noted.
I'll just put that.
This is a hard week to follow anybody. We got Matt kind of going through 6 different things. PJ kind of talking through what we're doing. Harry with like all the release notes. Chatter with a couple big organizations that we're going to start working with million+ person communities. Like that's a lot of stuff happening, and it's hard to just kind of like put all that together to say,
oh my god, I'm fucking losing my shit right now.
The Splinterlands TV FOMO February, I think, has been killing it. Just lots of people watching, and lots of people excited, getting new cards, and
so it threw me off.
What are you seeing over there? What's your experience?
Well, I mean, there's some bad news, really. FOMO February is coming to an end.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, and I mean, I gotta say, like, I haven't seen the community this fired up since we've started Splinterlands TV. The reaction that we've gotten from the community has just been overwhelming. People seem to just really be loving it, and you know what? It seems like, the people are coming in to come check out and try to win a card. but they're finding out that there's just a lot of great times, a lot of great streamers, and a lot of great reasons to stick around. So you win either way, whether you get a card or you get to hang out with some of the coolest people in the game. So it's really been a win-win situation.
Speaking of some of those people, we have some Splinterlands shout outs. This first one, I don't even know if I don't want to say this out loud. It's Luthien the Turd. Is that Luthien herself, or is that like a troll account that somebody went after her for?
That's Luthien, and that's what her name actually has been changed to. So there was no edits there. There's no.
Okay.
I'm not editorializing.
I don't want to say anything disparaging about her. She's lovely.
It's a troll. She
so
says
I'm
it's a troll.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's Luthien. So Luthien, she gets a shout out. Slow Carls, Walk the Grid, Solving Chaos, Walk the Grid again. Dude, that's amazing. 2 different Splinterlands TV shout outs. High praise to Walking the Grid. Xylan, and then Bushwhack. I mean, that's a nice little crew there.
Absolutely, and guys, just watch Splinterlands TV. You can get your own town hall shout out anytime you want. Just get enough points. It's 50.
Not anytime you want. It has to be on Monday.
Yeah, as I was saying, FOMO February. It's sad. It's coming to an end. I know we don't have much time here, but I do want to touch on this just a little bit because I think it's going to be something that people want to hear.
More March.
We got something coming up in March.
Monster March.
Yeah, what is this?
Yeah, we got something coming up in March. So, guys, we're not going to leave you empty-handed. March, we're going to do a promotion called Monster March. And during Monster March, you're going to have more chances to win. And not only are you going to have more chances to win, there's going to be even better cards this time. So we're going to do up to 5 cards given away per stream. And there's going to be all sorts of stuff on there. There's going to be gold foils. There's going to be, alphas, betas, untamed. You might even see like a gold foil llama. What?
Gold foil llama? That would be crazy.
Yeah. And there's just going to be all sorts of cards, all sorts of different levels. Packed full of gold foils, packed full of just really high end stuff. You guys are going to not want to miss this. It's going to be amazing.
So are we, we got to partner with Twitch. How has that affected us? Like, we did this promotion. It got a lot of people onto the channel. The channel is now like a partner channel with Twitch.
Not yet.
Oh, it's not yet. When?
Nope. So we were at, I checked it earlier. Let me look. I actually have a screenshot. We need to be an average of 75 viewers. Now, for most people who stream like twice a week or whatever, the 75 viewers over the past 30 days is somewhat attainable, right? You just hit in the prime time spots.
No, it's not.
We've streamed for 674 hours over the past 30 days, and we averaged 72.31 out of 75. So we're just like right there.
Okay.
But I mean, it's over the past 30 days. This has been 27 days into FOMO February. I fully expect us to be, because it's counting like even before we did this promotion. So I fully expect March numbers to be even higher, and probably right around March. Like next town hall will be partnered, which
wow,
obviously
fucking 17.
The effects of that aren't going to really be felt probably for a month or two after. But Twitch does start treating you differently. The algorithm treats you differently. I don't know how much differently, but we'll see, and I'll report on it.
All right. And then do we have a clip of the week, Ron?
Absolutely. We have a clip.
I was doing a lot of giveaways when I started, and I've never been over 20.
Deal with an infant.
It's 75 hours average viewership is still a lot, no matter how many hours you're doing. I'm not disagreeing with them that, it's very impressive that we're at 72 point something over, the last 30 days. It's awesome. I'm just saying, don't take away from the people who have earned it without being 24/7. It's still a fucking feat.
Probably gonna puke all over me.
No, I wasn't. But it's still a fucking feat, is what I'm saying.
Oh, look how he's looking up at me. Oh, I puked all over him. They puked all over me. All right, let me go put him back now, and I'll be right back. Maybe we'll get to FOMO when I get back, guys. So get yourselves ready.
Like saying that it's
just
easy
reality.
to get
It's a tough
there
job being a
is
streamer.
Parenting on the fly,
disingenuous.
doing the
Period.
streaming, doing the babies. You gotta do all of it at once. You know, there's no, you know, they don't just like sit there and wait for your stream to end before they get all fussy.
Yeah, they don't wait for nothing.
Yeah,
But anyway,
we'll keep.
I know
that
we
one
got
for-
tons of questions. I know we got Matt coming up, and we're running out of time, so I'll let you guys go. But thanks so much. Make sure you tune in for Monster March, coming right up. FOMO February is still on for a couple more days, so tune in for that as well.
Rock on. Thanks, Ron.
I mean, I don't know
Let's,
if it'll be
let's bring
that
the gang
serious,
back.
but I'm not
These
also
are the
not
Splinterlands
disagreeing
Town
that
Hall
we'll see a
pre-sorted
drop in
questions.
viewership. But
So I
yeah,
don't know if
we're
actually gonna make it
definitely
through
gonna
these
get
generated
there
questions or the AMA
over
today.
Monster
we've got a
March
lot of
when they're
folks
giving
to
away
come,
more
so
shit. We're
don't
definitely
hate
gonna
me
hit
for
that
but,
75 over 30
and
days.
today, I doubt
Get
I can
into
stay all that
partner,
late.
and we'll see where it
But
goes
let's
from
go,
there.
Let's go through the questions that are here. For land workers, is there a max BCX worker per slot? I.e., will a common card with 10,000 BCX instead of 400 BCX be game breaking? So
Yeah, I can just knock these out. I mean, we mentioned them. So yes, a common card with 10,000 BCX would be game breaking. So our current plan is that it'll be limited to the max BCX. Over combined cards won't have a bonus, which I think is the first and third
I
question.
mean, Wood Nymph is just straight up
do you
better than
anticipate the
Goblin
card
Psychic.
rarity to affect land bonus, i.e., max legendaries give more impact than max commons?
Yeah. So rarity, the edition, like older editions, gold foil, and Rooney, that those will all be like better.
SPS node. When the SPS node software goes live for running, how does Splinterlands expect the node to cover the electrical bill, or have node owners have a sustainable way to help Splinterlands run the node?
I mean, I can't say what the rewards will be. I mean, there's so many variables for that. But, I mean, our goal, regardless, is to make it as cheap as possible to run the actual node software. I mean, it's not like Bitcoin mining. Where it's
I'm certainly hoping so, Eternal. I've been
and,
saving up for that.
Not even
So
like running an Ethereum node or anything like that. So it should be pretty cheap and not require much hardware.
Yeah, like a Hive node is pretty inexpensive. Like the RPCs are like 150 or something per
And
month.
this should be even less than that.
Yeah, so this is, hopefully these are like relatively inexpensive.
Yeah.
I don't know, 20 to 40 bucks a month, somewhere in that range, you imagine?
That would be my hope.
Cool. All right, economy. The last year has seen Splinterlands stop being a printing press economy and start hitching its value to the finite SPS token. Every player minted sellable asset now requires an SPS DEC burn to create. This means every new sellable asset adds value to SPS just by being created. The hole in this system is the packs sold by the team and the DAO. These are still minted out of thin air. Would the team ever close the loop by burning some DEC per pack minted? Maybe a similar amount as players will be expected to burn in order to unlock the rewards cards. This plugs a hole in the SPS economy, kills the J. Powell printer for good, and sets the community up for a time when minting packs might be more decentralized. What do you think about burning?
Yep, have a good one, Eternal.
The money that comes in from pack sales.
Well, I mean, generally, I'm all for it, but everyone has to remember that that's how we as a company make money and can pay all the people you just talked to, and pay for our servers and everything. So if that wasn't the case, I would just everything would just be sold for DEC that would be burned. But so I don't think it's like an either or. Like it's not a hole in the system. There is some inflation, right, from the new packs. But the idea is if it's hopefully it's scheduled and it's not just arbitrary. So it's not just today we decide to throw out a whole lot more. It's like we have a relatively fixed schedule for new packs and new things. And the inflation is not a ton. That would be fine, and we can walk that line between not overinflating things and also being able to pay the bills and keep the lights on. But like over time, my hope is that we can transition more from a revenue model to an asset appreciation model, because we hold a lot of SPS. So as if more value can accrue to SPS, then the company can utilize that and potentially even start selling that if there's enough demand. So we wouldn't crash prices. And then we could use that to pay the bills more than revenue from packs, and that's how we could slowly kind of get to that system. But the short answer is that's where I'd like to get to, but that's going to have to be a slow process.
FOMO Feb bot. All right. Given the FOMO Feb is ending, and you stated in previous town halls that you actually put in an effort to make sure that the bot had good RNG, I wonder if that statement was true. Since some people win an extreme amount of time and many people are at 0 wins, I understand that activity makes some difference, but I've been in streams where people win back to back multiple times a day with the same activity as other viewers. So if you make a similar event in the future, would you
there's
actually make
so
a good
much
bot
fucking
and put in
crying
some
about
sort
the
of
bot.
system so it doesn't look
Like,
like
why
there's
can't
some
anybody
hidden
just be
favor?
happy with
I mean, I've seen a
fucking
couple
free
things
shit
like
being
this,
given
but
out?
you know,
So I can speak
statistics
to
are
that.
crazy. Go for it, Ron.
Well, I mean, yeah, like the statistics are crazy, and essentially, no, we are not going to put in some system where it doesn't look like there's some hidden favor by, limiting people from winning like back to back and stuff like that. Because as it is, we've put in a lot of painstaking effort into making sure that the random number generator is, as random as possible within reason. Now, I mean, like as I mentioned before, you can get really crazy and have video showing a wall full of lava lamps like Cloudflare does, and get really almost truly random numbers, but nothing is actually truly random when you get down to it, and it's really technical. But as far as it goes, we put in a lot of painstaking effort to make sure that this is as random as possible, and we don't want to limit people and how much they can win. We want you to show up, like we don't want you to stop watching that day because you won something. Like we want you to keep on watching. So no, we are not going to change the bot. No, we're not going to do anything about it because the bot is as fair as possible.
Have you shared any of the way that it actually does its randomization publicly? Is that something that we can do?
Actually, no, I haven't, but I can. Yeah, and
let's
sharing,
share the way it works.
So,
right, and
in an effort of transparency, we have been sharing the results, the winners, and stuff like that. But the list is not up to date yet, and I will be releasing a brand new list after FOMO February is all caught up. So you guys will have like the full.
Oh my
full
god, I
open,
still have over
transparent,
150.
everybody
Fucking
who's won for
Christ,
FOMO
why is
February,
this taking so goddamn
just
long?
right after March.
awesome. Thanks, Ron. All right, promo cards. When new promo card for vouchers. So I think this is in reference to the proposal that passed. Any thoughts on when we get that promo card in?
We're working on it. I mean, I hope maybe in March, because we want to do like one promo card for quarter. So my hope is in March. That card will be released.
Beta cards and rank battle rewards. Now that cards are grouped by set, will beta reward cards give the reward bonus that beta core cards give? Will this also apply to card set bonuses workers give to land?
That's a good question about reward points. My guess is that nothing's changed there, but they should give reward point bonuses. So that's something we can look into, and it will definitely apply to land. So when I say like alpha and beta cards, get bonuses on land, it'll be everything. It'll be the regular set, the promo cards, essence orbs, all that stuff. So everything that's currently categorized under alpha and beta and the new filters will be part of that set and get the bonuses.
How are sets packages treated with the new rules? I'm talking about the ones available here through packages on Peak Monsters.
If they mean the new listing fee rules, a set will only cost like one listing fee, so one DEC. Because really, we're trying to the fee is per market listing record. So if you list 100 cards separately, it's 100 DEC. One DEC for each listing. But a set is just one listing, so it would only be one fee or one DEC.
Visual marker. Any chance of a visual marker in the game for bloodlust killed, like a kill count, to help digest what is going on in battle?
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been a high priority, but things like counters on cards is something we've
Magic
been
Reflect
playing
again.
with for also some new features potentially for Rebellion. So if we added it in, for new features, then we could also add it in for existing ones.
All right, that wasn't bad for questions. Let's go open it up to everybody. So this is your chance. If you have questions, let's end it. Let's not take too many questions right now. But let's go ahead and take questions from the audience and see what you guys have in mind. Fat Jimmy asked, "What would you guys think about taking the stance of bots officially not being allowed in brawls and tournaments? This would get the bot token services out of the picture and set us on the right path. Might also get the IG bots out of the picture as well. Seems like it would be a huge step in the right direction, even though 100% enforcement would be a work in progress.
I mean, that sounds like a great SPS governance proposal to me, especially for tournaments where, well, no, and in brawls you win SPS. So, I mean, you guys, the SPS holders, are in charge of that stuff. So, submit a governance proposal, and if it passes, then great.
DJ Bagman is asking, Transact doesn't work in my state. Can I buy DEC with credits without buying and selling cards on the market to myself for a loss?
We aren't legally allowed to sell DEC for credits. Unfortunately, that's why we use third-party services. But we are trying to work with other third-party services than just Transact to give people more options that might work in more places.
Daro's asking, when will Rooney
God
be
damn,
rentable?
this shit is
just
taking
like
fucking
usual
forever.
cards?
Well, Rooney isn't planned to be rentable like usual cards because it works very differently. So, Rooney needs to be rented separately through Ethereum right now. I mean, we could build something separate for it. That's not currently on the roadmap.
Any chance we can get a news tab inside the game in the menu? So when we can't check the town hall or anything posted on Peak, we can just check inside the game for all the latest news or the most important ones. I think many would agree that would make it a lot easier for us to stay informed about everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's great. We just gotta, prioritize it.
Cruton is asking down here, as part of the new player experience, have you considered integrating guild recruitment into it so that players do not feel alone and can be immediately part of the community? This may enhance retention.
Yeah, I mean, I think guilds are a super important part of player retention, so I agree that should be included.
Eldon is asking, how will the new ECR change work or coexist with bots? Because if it's profitable to recharge the energy 24/7, high-end bots in Champion and Diamond will just do that, leaving very little rewards for human players.
Oh yeah. So I didn't mention. I mean, you're not just going to be able to recharge and recharge and recharge. So the idea is you'll be able to recharge like once per day, or the whatever the max amount is. You'll be able to get that much per 24-hour period. Otherwise, you're totally right. So it's enough that like a human player who that would be more games than they can realistically play in a single day with a single recharge if they have all their energy. But a bot won't be able to do any more than that.
Rudy is asking, will different lands have different cards that work on them? Or cards from different splinters be more optimal? Or will all land use cards equally?
Yeah, so different elements will prefer or not prefer different terrain types. So fire element cards might get a small boost if they're working on like a mountain, and they might get a pretty big, whatever the opposite of boost is, nerf if they're on a lake.
Select the fucking
but,
card.
Yeah, and then, so
God damn it!
That they get a bonus on, a couple that they get a nerf on, and then the rest would be like neutral, just like the regular amount. And neutral cards would just not get a bonus or a nerf on anything.
What do you think about dragon? Are there lands that only dragons can work on, or dragons get buffs across everything, or how do you see the dragon
They're
cards
considered
working?
the same as the other elements in land. So there's 14 terrain types, and I've there's sort of 2 associated with each element roughly. So dragon is the same, where they have some where they like more, and they have some that they dislike.
Okay. Daniel Williams is asking at 551, question, instead of alliance building, is it possible to make the guild sizes bigger, allowing more people to join and possibly allowing guilds to merge their efforts so DEC in a building won't go to waste?
Yeah, so one of the things with the guild updates that I've been considering is, also allowing the guild hall to get more than 10 levels. And then that would also increase the number of members, possibly like up to 50 for a guild. We have to figure out how we're going to handle brawls and brawl frays with that. So it's not set in stone yet, but I would like to increase, allow guilds to have more than 30 players.
Do you think that we could do, like, one guild could be involved in 2 brawls at the same time?
I mean, there's all sorts of things we can do. I haven't really put much thought into it yet, because I've been focusing more on land first, but phase 1.5. But yeah, so there's all sorts of ideas that we can work on.
Millimex is asking at 552, will we be able to use multiple copies of the same card on one plot?
Oh yeah, it's not like a battle.
And that's sort of the end of questions. Maybe people still have some more. Is there anything that we didn't cover as a team? Anything that you guys want to get out that we might have forgot about or missed?
I still, again, did not hear my fucking question answered here, so.
Per 24-hour period. Otherwise, PC.
About it, because the bot is as fair as.
Team ever close the loop by burning some DEC per pack minted? And today, I doubt I can stay all that late. But let's go through the question card with
ACX over.
Do you anticipate common S rewards the node?
The actual be cheap.
Like the RPCs are like a 40 pool. Its value is to create out of somewhere mouth and the SX.
I mean, make money, papers be so. I don't think some, throw us can bills and keep the lights on, but like from a revenue model to more value can accrue selling that to pay the system, but have to be a.
All right, given that had good arrow wins times a day, make a good.
Well, I mean, you're not going to pull from winning a lot of paint possible. You can have any technique that this is like so is
actually does,
but I can't. Transparent list is February, open March.
Voucher
working order
reward bonus
can look bonus and base rules a 1 DEC because really
we're he skipped my question.
I mean,
I asked it early on in the town hall.
Fat Jimmy asked, "What would you guys think about taking this? About taking the stance of bots officially not being allowed in brawls and tournaments? This would get the bot token services out of the picture and set us."
I asked if we could consider
bots out of the picture
moving the gladiator tournaments around instead of just having them all on Friday.
I mean, that sounds like a great SPS governance proposal to me. Especially for tournaments where I think
I'm gonna do this game and then go ahead and raid on over into Splinterlands TV. Fire and Regret, aim true, close range, 34 mana, all splinters available.
Then great.
DJ Bagman is
opponents
asking,
is probably
Transact
playing
doesn't work
Zintar.
in my state. Can I buy DEC with credits without buying and selling cards on the market to myself for a loss?
Really put much thought into it yet. I've been focusing more on land first, but phase 1.5. But yeah, so there's all sorts of ideas that we can work on.
Millimex is asking at 552, will we be able to use multiple copies of the same card on one plot?
Oh yeah, it's not like a battle.
And that's sort of the end of questions. Maybe people still have some more. Is there anything that we didn't cover as a team? Anything that you guys want to get out that we might have forgot about or missed?
So we really don't need the Spirit Miner here, huh?
I'm not hearing anything. All right. Well, I think it's okay if we end a little bit early. I wasn't expecting to be able to do that, but I think we got through all of our questions. Let's call it an early evening. We got in a little bit done, and I don't know. Let me just say my normal of we're very grateful for the opportunity to be able to build this. It's an exciting piece of our life to be able to build an amazing game and have this community be a part of this. And I think there's a ton of new developments. They each one just builds on what we've already put together, and it just gets cooler and cooler. And I'm excited for this community. So,
yeah, Sunday.
Anyways, that's what I have for now. Thanks everybody, and we'll be back in a week.
Thanks everyone.
Thanks guys.
All right, no magic reflect, good. I do not have a cleanse, that's not good.
When chaos reigns and hope is lost, when your darkest days aren't saved by the dawn, we bring the light to help guide the way. We are with you. We are the Rift Watchers.
Fucking poisons! I think we got it anyways. But man, this fucking 100% poisons are fucking annoying.
When you're out of places to run and hide, follow the
Alrighty, y'all. Thank you so very, very much for hanging. As always, I have been Rick. You have been on the mountain, and it has been a wonderful time. We're going to go ahead and raid on over into Splinterlands TV. When we get there, I will drop the link in the chat. Please go ahead and click it to make sure your views count for the channel. And in the meanwhile, I will see you again right back here in 21 hours and 45 minutes. And in the meanwhile, keep kicking all of the ass, because you are fucking awesome. For those who might be watching on the replay, please go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, share, all of that fun algorithmic goodness. And